So I've been meaning to do this carburetor video because I know it'll help some people. So you put your mower up for the winter and you get it out the following spring to cut the grass and it won't start. This is why. Most likely. This is your carburetor. Most of them look similar. If you have a bowl type carburetor, take the carburetor off and remove the bowl, which would be the center screw. First thing you want to see, does this float move freely? It has to be extremely free. It floats when the level of gas goes up and the needle in the back shuts off the gas flow. There's a couple of parts you want to make sure is clean. First off, this center jet can get clogged up. All you need is something, a small wire. Run it through it, make sure it's clear, blow through it. And then this part, you're going to want to take the float off. This bar comes out. The bar right here that holds the float on, it's going to come out very easy because when the bowl is on, it's impossible for it to slide out. So you shouldn't have a problem, except for it's hard to grip. But let's see. Alright. Let's see. It slides right out. No problem. Don't lose it. Pick the bowl straight up. There will be a needle on the end of it. It fell off, which is this. You need to make sure it's clean. It will be rubber tipped. Make sure it's still got its point. This is what shuts off the fuel. And they're rather easy to slide right back in. They're hooked on with a piece of small wire that you can't really see. Alright, underneath where that jet plugs is this jet right here, my index finger at the bottom of the screen. That needs to be clean so that the rubber seats and shuts off the fuel. Again, use a piece of wire through the center of it, but if it's corroded real bad, you'll need seafoam or carburetor cleaner. I don't suggest using carburetor cleaner. Just use small amounts of seafoam and try not to get it all over the gaskets and everything. But get that clean and that center jet clean and this float freely moving, and I guarantee you the mower will start. Now, some of you are saying, I don't have, I'll show you, let me set this to the side. You have something like this hooked up to your carburetor. This is an electric solenoid gas shut-off solenoid or fuel shut-off solenoid. When this part receives 12 volts positive, it sucks the needle down. It's a magnet. These will get corroded. They'll get stuck. Most likely in the up position, because when you cut the mower off, the needle pops up and shuts off the fuel instantly. You'll need to clean this, and it needs to move free, just like you see this. If it doesn't move freely, it's not going to work. It's not a very strong magnet. It's just a 12 volts, and it just pulls it down. I mean, actually, it is a kind of strong magnet, but make sure it's clean if you have one of these. And you can test it by simply putting 2 wires into this. It doesn't matter which way you hook them up. It'll work either way. Positive in one hole, negative in the other, and make sure it pulls this down. If it pulls it down, it's good. If it doesn't move, it's bad and you need to get a new one because it will not start if this does not retract. I mean, you could pull it out and put it back on without it, but I don't suggest doing that. That would be an emergency situation. If you do that, it's going to take like 45 seconds for your mower to die instead of instantly. So that the solenoid needs to be cleaned, and the two jets we talked about, the jet that goes into the carburetor, puts fuel in the carburetor, in the intake to mix with air, is this one, the center one. That one, where the float, that's the fuel coming in from your tank, fills up the bowl and goes up out of this. Make sure they're both clean and it'll start. I can't tell you how many I do each spring, and that's all I do when they run. They say it won't start. I've tried everything. I take the carburetor off, clean that, put it back on, it starts. Hopefully that helps some of you. I mean, that'll save you a couple $100 at a shop. And they're likely to tell you that you need a new carburetor because they don't like cleaning them. There's no money in it for them. They would rather put the part on there because they've got the part marked up 300%, 200%. All right. Let me know if I can help y'all. Anything else? Of course, comment. I read them.